All right, guys, now we're finally going to graph radical functions. Okay, the whole graphing day. And remember the beauty of the way we graph stuff. When we graph stuff, not hardly any work. We're just going to look at it, graph it. But you got to know what the parent functions look like. Here's the two parent functions. We're going to do square roots and cube roots. A square graph looks like this, like half of a sideways parabola is what it looks like. And think about why it does that. If I plug in 0 for x, that's what I did. I made an x by table. You get 0 for y, so it goes to 0, 0. If I plug in 1 for x, the square root of 1 is 1. If I plug in 4 for x, square root of 4 is 2, so 4, 2. And if you connect those, you get that curve right there. The cube root, just a tad bit different. It's half of a sideways probably going up, and it's half of a sideways probably going down. Plugging in points, if I plug the 0 in there, the cube root of 0 is 0. That's why it's 0, 0. If I plug in 1, the cube root of 1 is 1. If I plug in -1, the cube root of -1 is -1. Cube roots can be negative. That's why it goes both directions. If I plug in 8 all the way to 8, 8, 2, -8, -2. So that's why the curves look like they do. Now, let's go back to the first one. Let's go domain and range real quick. Remember, domain is how far left and right this graph's going. The domain for the square root, it goes from 0 to forever. The range of the square root also starts at 0 and goes up forever. Remember, domain is how far left and right it goes. Range is how far up and down it goes. Now, cube root, a little bit different. The domain, it's going left and right forever. So the domain is all real numbers. The range is also going up and down forever. Also all real numbers. That's going to be a big deal as we go on. All right. Next slide says graph each function until the domain and the ranges of each function. Now, here's how we're going to roll with this. We know that's a square root. We know it's half of a sideways parabola. It's going to start at 0, 0, so I'm going to put a point at 0, 0. Now, usually, I would go over 1, up 1, because 1, 1 works, and I'll plug that in. But the 1/4 inside, remember how we did those gestures a long time ago? It's a horizontal stretch by the reciprocal. So instead of going over 1, up 1, I'm going to go over 4, because that's the reciprocal of 1/4, and up 1. And then it's going to connect the dots. So there's the graph, a little bit flatter than usual. The domain on that one is still 0 to forever. The range is also 0 to forever. All right, the second one, cube root. Remember what a cube root does. Cube root starts at 0, 0. You have half of a sideways parabola going up, half of a sideways parabola going down. Now the -3, first of all, the negative is going to flip it. So when I go to the right, I'm actually going to go down. When I go to the left, I'm actually going to go up. Okay, because of the negative sign. Also, the 3 is outside, which means it's a vertical stretch. So here we go. Instead of going over 1, up 1, I'm going to go over 1, down 3. And then on the other side, over 1, up 3. So when I draw my graph, it's going to go this way, half of a sideways parabola. That way, half of the sideways parabola. And the domain for every cube root is all real numbers. The range for every cube root, all real numbers. All right, the next two say describe. You have to talk through this one and then graph. So this is a square root. Now, what I would use to describe, because there's a -3 and a +4, I would say shift right 3, and also, oops, I didn't put right 3, and also shift up 4. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right 3, 1, 2, 3, up 4. That's where I'm actually going to start my graph. Now, because there's nothing in the front, there's nothing in front of the x, I'm going to go over 1, up 1, connect the dots, and there's the graph. All right, second one's a cube root. Man, it's got a negative inside. Negative inside reflects across the x-axis, and it's got an 8 inside. That's going to be a little tougher. I'm going to blow this graph up so you can see what I'm doing best I can anyway. All right, the negative, first of all, reflects across the y. So usually our graph would do this. It would go up to the right and down to the left. But if I flip it, if I reflect across the y, I keep saying x, it's going to go that way and that way. So, and the 8 is a horizontal shrink by the reciprocal, so 1/8. This is going to be crazy. So I'm going to go right 1/8 and down 1. Like right there, barely. And right, left 1/8, up 1. So my graph's going to start at 0, 0. It's going to do that. And it's also going to go like that. All right, so I forgot to write the transformation, so I put reflects across y-axis, and also horizontal shrink by the reciprocal, which would be by 1/8. All right, one more slide. Okay, it says let the graph of a G be a horizontal shrink by a factor of 1/6, followed by, that's a big word here when I say followed by, it means it comes after, followed by a translation 3 units to the left of the graph of this. Okay, so let's say, sorry, g of x, it says use g that time. G of x is going to be horizontal shrink by 1/6, so I'm going to do cube root. Horizontal shrink by 1/6 is putting a 6 inside, and x. And then it says translation to the left 3. Now to the left 3, that means it's going to be a plus 3 with the x. So I'm going to write it like this: 6 and x plus 3. That's good enough, but it's also not bad if you want to go and write multiply that out and put your answer looking like that right there. Either way, but the followed by is a big deal. So first thing I did is I put the horizontal shrink, which means I put the 6. Translation 3 to the left means the 3 is inside with the x, which is why I had to put that parentheses in there so I could get the 3 with the x. Hope that makes a little bit of sense. And as always, we'll work on it tomorrow. See you then.